So today I'm going to be explaining how to answer common vegan questions and how to avoid those ums and ahs every time you put on the spot. Hi, I'm Blissfully Emma, welcome back to my channel. It's great to see you all again. If this is your first time on my channel, please consider subscribing. I do vegan health and lifestyle videos every Wednesday. So if you've been vegan for a while, I'm sure you've heard an array of questions from folk you encounter on a day-to-day basis. These questions range from the curious to the all-out crazy and can come from the most quietest person in the room to the most loudest, raging, anti-vegan person there is. They usually happen at parties and a number of social occasions, usually hosted by friends or even family. You may even encounter them when you're out and about buying lunch on your own, or even at the photocopier at work. When I first went vegan, the thought of someone firing questions at me scared the crap out of me. Even now, I struggle to repeat the information. I mean, I know why I'm vegan, I know the health facts, I know the animal rights facts. When it comes to explaining it to somebody, it's all a jumble in my head and it comes out equally a big jumble. So usually when I'm talking about it, the words just disappear and it just ends up blah blah, blah blah, blah blah. But I guess it helps that I'm married to a vegan health and nutrition guru called Goji Man. There should be a subscribe button around here somewhere. So without further ado, here are my favourite top 10 common vegan questions and how to answer them. So number 1, you guessed it, where do you get your protein? So this is one of the most common questions that I get asked and has become a standing running joke between me and my friends. After one of them, after not long after first meeting them, asked me this question, my response was quinoa. Blurted it out, went bright red, and then mumbled, I don't talk about that. So that, my friends, is a good example of how not to answer that question. So what I should have said should have gone something like, all vegetables and fruits have different levels of protein in them. My favourites are quinoa, peas, spinach, among many others. And we only eat between 5 and 10% protein in our diet every day, so plant-based foods pretty much have us covered. Number 2, don't you miss bacon? I just don't even know where to begin with this one. I mean, no, I don't miss bacon. Number 3, why are you vegan? I'm sure you all have your own personal reasons for why you went vegan. Some of them may be so personal, in fact, that you don't feel comfortable sharing them with some random guy at a party. So you may be left feeling a little lost for words. But this is perfectly normal, especially after you first gone vegan. I mean, the amount of times people have asked me a question and I've just totally blanked. I've lost count. I mean, as time's gone on, I've gotten more confident with it, but to start with, total nightmare. In fact, a complete minefield, to be honest. Initially, I went vegan to combat a condition called PCOS, which you can find out more about in this video. But try explaining that in full to an estranged friend or an acquaintance or someone you've just bumped into at the local supermarket. So my standard answer for the question, why are you vegan, just became, I went vegan for my own health reasons, but this just opened up a whole load of other questions like, what health reasons? Why? I didn't think diet could help with that. So I later changed it to, I went vegan for my own personal health reasons. And by adding in that word personal, you get the power back, because people automatically think, oh God, personal health reasons, don't want to get involved with that. I'm going to get so uncomfortable in this conversation, I'm just going to avoid it. But then I felt uncomfortable just saying personal health reasons, because my vegan journey, although it started off me doing it for health reasons, it ended up me doing it and for the love of animals and enhancing my compassion for animals. So now when anyone asks me why are you vegan, I say I initially went vegan for my own personal health reasons, but the more I got into it, the more I was doing it for the animals as well. Number 4, if you were trapped on a desert island, would you eat the animals? So in the unlikely event that I end up on some exotic desert island, I'd first probably catch a few rays and then eat the veggies that the animals are eating. Oh, and probably nip to the local falafel bar that's just down the bottom of the beach. Number 5, why don't you drink milk? When it comes to milk, I always remember the following points. Milk is full of hormones as it's designed to help a baby cow grow into a full-size cow. These hormones can play havoc with the hormones in our own bodies, which can contribute towards different health conditions. To get the milk, cows are repeatedly impregnated against their will. And not only that, they're often kept in horrific conditions. So that's why I don't drink milk. If you don't feel comfortable answering a question like that though, especially in front of other people, you could say something like, how about we catch up about this later? Or, there are many things I don't like about milk, but I'd rather not share them while people are eating. Can we talk later? This approach will buy you some time so you can talk to them in a way that you're comfortable with so that you don't feel put on the spot. And remember, most people are just curious and don't mean anything harmful or negative by it. Number 6, what do you eat? This question is my personal favourite. Bless them. I eat a whole foods, plant-based diet, thank you very much. What do you eat? Number 7, can you get all the nutrients you need from plants? Yep, you sure can. Each and every plant I eat contains different and varying levels of all the nutrients you need, apart from B12, which I supplement. Number 8, how do you live without cheese? Oh, if I had £1 or $1 for every time I've heard this one, I would be a millionaire. I think the best way to answer this question is probably just to use humour, tell a joke, or just to state the obvious. I don't miss cheese, thanks. Number 9, is veganism expensive? This is a common misconception. Veganism can be as expensive or as cheap as you want it to be. And finally, number 10, isn't it hard to be vegan? Now, I've heard this one a lot, and to be honest, I'm not quite sure what people want me to say. I mean, I'm not crying inside about being vegan. In fact, I feel pretty amazing about it, so I guess you could say something like this. There's so many different recipes and resources out there now that becoming vegan is becoming more and more accessible. Of course, many of these answers will majorly depend on who you were talking to and where you were talking to them, and also the environment you're in, if you're comfortable talking to people within a group, and how many people you're talking to. However you're handling it, remember to smile, try and use a sense of humour where appropriate, and most of all, stay positive. Because after all, you went vegan for some pretty awesome reasons. And sharing information and our story is so important when it comes to sharing a positive vegan message. So that's my top 10. I hope you found this question and answer session helpful. If you like what you see, please hit subscribe.